So, this week in movie news, nerds, we have an update on the Blade movie that, might not be so great after all. Plus, Beetlejuice got a full-length trailer that we have to talk about ever so briefly. And a cult favorite movie just might be getting a sequel-ish, kinda, sorta. We're gonna talk about that and a bit more, so let's do this. Hello nerds! You have found the place for all of the nerdy movie updates worth talking about. More than just comic book movies, though that is a good chunk of what we cover here in the news. We get nerdy about all kinds of movies, as well as the art of making movies in general. If you like this kind of news reporting, then go check out the full show over on the main channel called The Week in Nerddom, where we talk about TV and comic books and gaming and rumors and etc., everything in between. You can find the link to that down in the description or at the end of this video. Now, let's hear about all that movie goodness, shall we? All right, let's hit up some follow-ups and corrections. Follow-ups and corrections. We have 28 years later has officially began filming, so they are into principal photography for the movie. Cillian Murphy returning. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't know if we've talked about that. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, and Jack O'Connell all also on the project, but Cillian Murphy is the only returning. Danny Boyle is returning to direct, and Alex Garland returned for the writer's role as well. So it is going to be, hopefully, a pretty damn good movie. The other follow-up that we have this week has to do with Blade. We've been talking about this the whole time it's been going down, and we now have confirmation that they are, in fact, losing another writer. So they're looking for writer number 7. They are looking to replace Michael Green because he has officially left the project. Anything else from that point is speculative and is the realm of rumors, so we will talk about that in the rumor mill, but just know that Michael Green has officially left the Blade movie reboot with Mahershala Ali. So yeah, we're just gonna continue from there, shall we? Then we have some trailers to talk about this week. We have Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice launched a brand new trailer that we get a lot more of the potential story in this. You see a whole bunch of Beetlejuice himself. Michael Keaton is always a win. I don't care who you are. Michael Keaton is always a win. And Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice? Yes, please, and thank you. Next, then we have one that I didn't know was coming, but I'm super intrigued by. It's a documentary about Frank Miller. It's called Frank Miller, American Genius. Link, as always, in the description. It's a documentary about one of the greatest comic book authors and artists in the history of the format. It is going to be in theaters, but only for a single day. It's going to be in Cinemark theaters on June 10th. So I believe tickets are available. If you follow the link in the description, there should probably be ticket purchasing options in the video description for the trailer. So go check that out if you are so inclined. From there, we got some regular ass news to talk about, and this one is kind of very much out of left field. Do you remember a movie came out a few years ago called Shoot 'Em Up? It was Clive Owen, Monica Bellucci, Paul Giamatti, and it was over-the-top action, just ridiculous, like comic book levels of over-the-top action. And it was a bit of a cult hit. I'm pretty sure I watched it about a half a dozen times myself, and just because it was good popcorn fodder. It wasn't going to change the way you think of cinema or anything like that. Any of this ringing a bell? The main character, played by Clive Owen, really like to eat carrots? Nothing? Okay. Well, that movie is potentially getting a sequel. Now, I say it that way because the director of Shoot 'Em Up, a man that goes by the name of Michael Davis, he was also the writer of the first movie. He is doing a crowdfunding project in order to fund an animated sequel that goes even more ridiculous. The animated sequel has something to do with like aliens, and Clive Owen's character is defending the Earth from these weird aliens, and it's kind of, if you look at the screenshots, slightly poorly animated, but that is kind of to be expected because the director guy, again, I got to refer to the notes, Michael Davis, is doing the animation himself, if I read that correctly, and I think I did. So he's doing everything by himself. I don't know if he's going to make enough money to like pay Clive Owen to come back and voice the character, but the model that he created for that character kind of looks like Clive Owen. So, like, I don't know, it's a weird situation, and sure, I hope he makes his Kickstarter money, because I'm kind of intrigued by what the hell a sequel to that movie would be, and how the hell it's going to incorporate aliens into it. They go to Mars, I'm pretty sure the synopsis said. Wow, okay, so yeah, there's that. That's a thing that's happening. Let's move on. Our suggestion this week is the aforementioned Shoot 'em Up. If you haven't seen it, it's a fun movie. Like, it is definitely worth your time. Now, the only place I am currently aware of it streaming, if you have the streaming services, is Prime, but it is not part of the regular Prime. It is something that you have to pay money. You can either rent or purchase. I believe you can purchase. I don't know if they have the rent option open on it. Either way, Shoot 'em Up. It's a hell of a lot of fun. If you know somebody who has a physical copy of it, that's always the best way to do it. But if not, then go pay a couple bucks and watch the streaming. It's fun. That is your suggestion for the week. That brings us to the end of the video, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for the news. Once again, there is a full and probably much more up-to-date and recent episode of the news, the full-length version, if you will, called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, linked down in the description, and probably link popping up somewhere around my face right about now. So click on that, go check that out as well, or if you prefer your news in more truncated pieces, then by all means just stick around here and go check out some of the other stuff we offer on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember, nerds, that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.